Welcome to Mondays, which is Teach Gen Tech and Learning with Laura.
Yay!
Yay! And we talk about a lot of random stuff.
We do.
That's why I love Mondays. They're
Yep.
random.
Yep.
Yeah. And especially when the cleaning fairy comes in the middle of the night.
It's like Brain Dump Monday.
Ooh, I like that. I feel
Mhm.
like it's like such a good way to start the week too.
Mhm. Yeah.
That
I mean, yeah, for sure.
I dig it. I dig it.
Mhm.
So just going off of my memory, we are thinking a little bit of Python,
Mhm.
a little bit of I don't even know what is it called?
Mastodon?
Mastodon. See,
Mhm.
I don't even know what it's called. And then maybe some arc and
Mhm.
eventually we might look at flashcards, y'all. We haven't actually finished that one, but hey, that's okay.
Mhm.
This is Brain Dump Mondays.
Yeah.
Yay! Oh, Stream Elements is telling people that we are live. That's fun and interesting.
I don't think I
Look.
know stream elements.
Ryan set it up where it does like auto commands and stuff. And that's why I think
Mhm.
I'm going to try to use OBS is Stream Elements. You can create like an overlay and put it into OBS. And
Okay.
then OBS, like to get the people in OBS, you use ping. And then you stream it to switch to Twitch.
Mhm.
So
Okay. Right.
it does something. I don't.
Yeah. Cool. Things occur.
Yes, it is the thing I'm currently working on.
Mhm.
But which one would you like to start with of our random things of the day? Which I need to start making notes. I did finally paste notes from last time of what we were talking about in the show notes, so that way I know what to tell people we're actually talking about.
Mhm. This I've seen tweets from people uh, calling out how podcasters will spend like the first 15 minutes of their podcast talking about not whatever the topic is and how that's super annoying. And I was like, oh no, is that me on the
Oh, I'm
stream?
totally okay with it. I'm totally like, as for like I mean, as somebody that has a podcast too, I just
Mhm.
dive right into that shit. Like, we literally are
Right.
like, hey, thanks for coming on the show. Please introduce yourself and the shit you want to
Mhm.
talk about and like go right in. And
Mhm.
like, this one I just feel is like so fun and chill.
Okay,
So
cool. Mhm.
I think it really matters who we're doing this for. Are we doing this for us or are we
Mhm.
doing it for them?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this is for me because I just like
Cool.
hanging out with you and we learn a lot of cool
Yep.
stuff. And,
Yep.
people can always fast
Works for
forward.
me. Works for me.
Could fast
Yep.
forward. I maybe
Mhm.
that's something too. I will start writing down time codes of when we do stuff. So
Yeah.
maybe I'm gonna go
Yeah,
back to
yeah,
the good old
yeah.
pen and paper.
I mean, yeah, and we can set it up too because the streams only live on Twitch for like a week or
Yes,
something.
they do
So
live on
then
YouTube
they get
forever.
ported to YouTube. Exactly. And
Yeah.
YouTube does the chapters. And so we can like add chapters. Like,
Ooh.
here's where we actually talk about the Python. Here's where we're just brain dumping on whatever. Here's some learning theory. Here's some neurodiversity.
It's true. We do that too. Oh, and the other thing that I forgot to do that I got to do really quick before we dive into whatever fun stuff is telling people that we're live. I've been trying to like reshare the message and normally I have it up on my screen so that way I can just be like, click, send, and it's done. But I didn't have it
Uh-huh.
set up. So now I have to go find the tweet and post and quote tweet and say we're live.
Mhm.
It's a much
Okay,
more complicated
cool.
process. Post. Oh, I just repost. Okay. Share your thoughts. We're live. It's going to be really annoying about it on LinkedIn. That's fine. Cool. Yay. Okay. Done. Done and done.
Mhm.
So
Okay,
I don't
cool. And then
know.
we can talk about things in whatever order we want, because we'll add the chapter stuff later, right?
Yes.
I find that very freeing.
I'm also writing down our topics so I remember.
Ah, cool.
I'm a pen and paper kind of person. It's
Mhm.
not great for the environment. I have tried Rocket Books, yet I I hold on to all of my old notebooks, all of them
Mhm.
that I've
Mhm.
ever had, and I like going through them from time to time. And I'm like, ooh, this is fun. So,
I do the same, except it's on an iPad. Like, I also like to write notes
mhm,
by hand because I'm
mhm,
writing it with, it's my
uh-huh.
hand, but I can search.
Ooh, I did try Remarkable. I think it's what it's called. It's like a tablet that you can that literally all it does is write.
Yeah, and you
And
can't search. I
yeah,
know because my boss uses it and then is like, "Oh, but I have these notes, but now I can't find anything in them." And I'm like, "Cool."
so does the iPad do it pretty well going from writing to text?
Yes, I might be able to show you.
Ooh.
Let me see if I have. So the app that I use is called GoodNotes. I don't know if I have it installed right now. Do I? On the Mac. Do I? I know I have it on the tablet, but do I have it over here? Yes, I do. Okay. And it might need to update because I haven't opened it in like a year. Um,
So you can actually have them sync between the two so you can
oh
also
yes. Oh yes. Oh yes.
does it sync automatically with your uh
iCloud.
yeah, your iCloud notes? Does it
Oh
do
no.
it? Okay.
It.
To know.
I keep it in my iCloud. Like
Okay.
that's where the data lives.
Okay.
Um, it's not running properly. Let me try that again. Yeah, so it's completely separate from the Notes app
Okay.
on the phone or the tablet or
Okay.
whatever. I also use that because that's how I do like scans.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but okay, so the app is not happy, and I strongly suspect it's because I need to update it on the Mac. But oh, you know what? They probably have a website. We're on the internet.
We
Let's
got
just look it
this.
up.
We got
Yeah.
this. And
So it's called Good Notes, all one word.
cool. I will look it up and verify that I can find it.
They probably have a demo. I wonder.
Ooh. It says right outside the lines. I
Mhm.
like it. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. I got that going in our notes. Maybe I'll set up some good notes and it might be magic.
They might even be collaborative now. I kind of think that's a thing that
It's a
happened.
thing.
I
It's a
kind of think
thing.
so. That
Ooh.
that's been like an update. Maybe. Uh, well, okay, that's really disappointing. I really cannot get this app to run at all, and it does not say that it needs to be updated. So this is a great endorsement from me, where I'm like, I literally can't even run it. It's awesome.
That's what happens
But
when you do things live. It's just
it's
like
true.
it's inevitable.
Yeah. But so yeah, I'm not sure what the issue is at the moment because I use this app. When I was teaching, I used it all the time. I use it less now, or almost not at all now. Like on the Mac, I use it on the iPad all the time.
Got it. Well, I
I
am
wonder if
now
I can
looking at it
share my
and
iPad screen.
ooh.
Huh.
I,
Yeah. Do you want to share your screen, the
sure.
browser tab for the GoodNotes? I'm going to grab my iPad and see if I can. I know how to do it on Zoom.
Do. Bam. Ta-da! I'm very excited about this. I just started downloading it. Open.
I don't know if you have an iPad.
I don't. It is on my to-do list once I have a real job.
Yep.
It's a real job.
Understood.
Purchase.
Oh, I can do screen mirroring. I wonder if that like translates to over here. I don't know. Okay. Well, I'll figure that out another time, I suppose. Anyway, yes. I can the it's finally I think it was just like wait, what?
Do you get it working?
Maybe. That's fascinating. What's it doing?
Oh, I can make a new notebook.
I was such a dork. It's yours.
Is it mine?
That's what I was looking at, where it was like, hey, it's displaying, but why isn't it responding to my cursor? It's like responding to somebody else's cursor because it's literally not mine. And I am
it's cool.
absurd.
It's cool. It's, this is, let's do ruled. Let's change the cover. This is where I get stuck in life is I want to look at all the covers and see if there's anything. I'll do, this one's cooler. Solids. Yellow. Great.
And you can choose paper that's not yellow if you prefer. And
and y'all might know better than I do, but I wish they had a pen to use on my MacBook. Like
that
it doesn't
would require
touch the screen, but like if I wrote on like anything, it would like just show up here.
Something would have to have a touch screen then.
Would it? Because hello, homie. What up, pseudo?
Yeah.
But like, what about if it was like, the pen? I think they have something like that out where the pen can be read by a computer without a touch screen and you can write anywhere. They've got to have that out.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know if it would work as well. But maybe.
To write on any service. Apparently they do.
Good. Yeah, it's super cheap too.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's try this link just because I'm looking and homie, yeah, that's what Laura was saying. We're gonna skip over the video. I don't want to. Okay, so apparently not. One day I will get myself an iPad and this will make it easier. For now, we will work with this. It will be great.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks for going down that rabbit hole with me. I enjoyed it very, very much so. And I believe I can type. Can I type? Okay, I can type. That's good. I'll try doing this now. On this notepad. It'll be fun. See,
Rocketbook. I don't know Rocketbook.
I still have my Rocketbooks, but they actually are really annoying and take forever to dry after washing them. Just a sec. Please stand by. This thing is full of notebooks.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Ugh. But somewhere in here, I'm pretty sure is my Rocketbook. I've had two.
Mhm. Mhm.
And they're pretty cool. It's I don't know. It just wasn't the same for me. Same with the Remarkable that I used. Do I have
Mhm.
it? Where'd it go? Oh, apparently I wanted to put it somewhere else. That's cool. But that's
Hmm.
a big reason why I don't like it though, is because it doesn't translate very well for writing. And then also it does the pens aren't very great and you have to use specific pens and it can't pick
Mhm.
up all colors. So,
Okay. I
but it's a
may
good call.
have just worked out how to share my iPad screen. What I can't tell is whether it's gonna work. So
Let's give
I'm
it. This
gonna
is
give it a
why it's
go.
called Learning with Laura, because we
Yep,
just
and we're both
learn a
learning.
lot of random stuff.
Mhm. Okay. So at the moment, I'm just gonna share the whole screen. And so we're gonna have an inception. So everybody close your eyes for a second. And now, okay. Can you now see
Look
my
at
iPad
that.
screen?
Yeah.
It's working. Okay, cool.
Working.
So, um, would you like to see some of my notes from grad school?
Yeah, because
Cool.
that just sounds fun.
Um, yeah, okay. So this is from my mathematical logic class, and these are my lecture notes. I will go to say I'll just go to the beginning. Um, okay. So these are notes I took by hand on, oh my God, is it November 10th today? No, it's the 7th, but this is almost, let me see if I don't have the 7th, but that's funny. Anyway, these are notes that I took by hand 6 years ago, almost today. And so we can zoom in, and I can search. So say I want to look for, let me just highlight a word here. So, oh, this was not a good example because too many of these words are not words that are going to show up in an English dictionary. Let me choose a different notebook. Um, Not this class, in other words. So let's try.
Your notes are so like well put together. Like, my notes don't look like that.
Well, these
Do
are
you
my
print
notes from
them up?
class. I'm sorry?
Oh, these are to present to the class, right?
No, no, no.
Or
These are the like
no,
notes that
from
I took
taking it.
during class.
Yeah, my notes never look like that.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah, and so like I used this, like I would color something green if I wanted to flag to myself that that was something that the professor told the students, like, okay, you need to do this outside of class, or like convince yourself that this is true or something like that. And so here we were supposed to generalize that this function f was continuous for all elements in the real numbers, uh, and stuff. So we can search. Where is it? It's been
I
a
am still
while since
listening. I'm
I've
trying
done it.
to find one
Yep,
of my
no worries.
notebooks that show my type of notes
Comments.
because
There are comments now. This is
they do
totally
not look like
collaborative now.
yours.
That's awesome. Um,
Right? Handwriting
there
is
it is.
so nice. Your handwriting is
Oh,
so nice.
oh, thank you. Um, Actually, the professor of this class, when he saw my notes, said that he wanted to write a book with me and have me like hand write it instead of like typing it or whatever. Okay, so
I
unfortunately,
would love that.
unfortunately, what you can't actually see my whole screen because like you're not seeing right now the text box, but I'm going to search for the word measure in here because it's going to show up all over the place. So I just typed the word measure and it totally found it in my handwriting.
That's fascinating. Y'all, I need to get a real job so I can get
And
one of
here's
these.
another one. So like I'm just like rolling through the search results for the word measure right now.
Don't.
And it highlights it as well. So I love taking notes by hand, and especially because I can use colors instead of having to have like 7 different physical pens. I have all these colors and I can do all these shapes and I can make super straight lines. Like I can just go, like here's a line. It's not going to start out straight. Oh, hang on. I need to choose the straight line tool. Here's a line and it's just going to become a straight line.
Dude, that is actually really cool. I'm grabbing a couple of different notebooks because they're like my notes, literally, y'all. I'm just like, okay, so this is I don't even know what these are. Like me taking notes, I honestly sometimes have no idea what I'm actually talking about. Oh, here we go. Like, do you just see how all over that is?
So I think at least I can't see you because I'm sharing my screen, like my whole screen.
Let me go this. Like, it's just mumbo jumbo. Very colorful mumbo jumbo. But there's arrows. There are arrows to things. Mm-hmm. I'm like, your notes are so nice.
Oh, well, I mean, thank you.
Could you be like a professional note taker? Like that sounds weird. I don't know. I just want to see you write things. Like this is what your stream could be on. You could just write things. I think we would all.
Let me.
The app
this is about to be like the thing that made GoodNotes like a killer. This I would not leave for all of graduate school because this being able to do this was also huge with the colors because I could write. So this is a proof of a theorem, and I could correspond my colors in my drawing to like where that shows up in the proof. So like here's this here's this like yellow thing going on right here, and then I can instantly see in the proof that that's showing up in these 3 places.
Wait, do that one more time.
Okay. So in the diagram that's helping me visualize what's going on in the proof, I have this yellow thing.
Yeah.
And then that corresponds to stuff in the proof itself. So that I can keep track of like where the concept comes from in the diagram. Like there's where the yellow thing came from, and here's a pink thing, and I can show I can explain to myself where that came from. Like, why is this true? Oh, because it's over here.
Y'all, couple different things. Oh, it is only for Mac. I was looking and I was hoping that it would be for like Android as well, and that would have been really cool, but no.
It's probably because it's also only for iPad. Like the Good Notes app, the original product is only on iPad.
And Pseudo had a really good idea of streaming mock interviews and interview prep stuff. I'd be so down if anybody wants to come on and do that with me, because that's not my forte.
You know who else does that kind of, or at least interviewee preppy stuff is Ian Douglas.
Yes. Yep. Yes. I catch his streams a few times. He's been on the show too, but maybe he'll come on the show to do this.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Good idea, Pseudo. And let me know if you think of anybody else that I should have on about that, because I feel I'll just ask if anybody wants to come on the show to do it. It'll be fun. But yes, I think we talked about that for like 20-ish minutes. 15 minutes
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So chapter 1
Yeah.
is good notes, and it's about 5
Note
ish
taking.
minute. Yes, and this is a big thing, y'all. I know this started out as being Python, but I've learned so much of how to learn. Like seeing these type of like notebooks and things is not something that I ever would have thought about. And
Mm.
seeing that, seriously, Laura, since you started streaming with me, I'm just like, dude, there's so much more I can do with my life and make it more organized. So
Oh, really?
it's true. No joke.
That's
It's
very exciting.
true. Yeah. No, this is 100%. 100%. So
Mhm.
if we could give a round of applause for Laura because Laura's amazing.
Well, I have a note-taking mentor. And so
That's
I'm
a
gonna have to
thing.
just her name is well, she is now Dr. Ty Danae Bradley.
Dang.
Let me find that. But we were grad students at the same time, which means I feel like I know her and she does not know me. You know how it goes. Um, yeah,
Y'all,
and
let's
she
go
has a
find her on
blog.
Twitter and see if she'll
I
be on
am
Learning with Laura's show.
Oh, that would be super fun. Is so in fact, like somebody when we at work, we're remote, but folks were having a chat once about what would you do if you could go back to university. And I said I would get a PhD in category theory and I would have Ty Danae Bradley as my thesis advisor. So, yep, this is a dream for me. I'm gonna share my screen so that we can see her. Uh, yeah, and so let me see categories, and
She
she
looks like a
will
built
have
human. I
right,
don't I
and
never know to
she
like
sure
I'm like,
sounds like one.
yeah.
I mean, I like just from reading her writing and hearing her on podcasts and things like that. She seems like
Can you send
a
me that link
fabulous
really quick
human.
so I can drop it in
Sure.
yes.
It's mathrema.com. So MATH3MA. I know you asked me to send you the link, but
I dig it. I dig it.
it's a short one.
It
I'm
is.
trying
It
to
is.
find
And you spelt it out for me so it doesn't sound as complicated as I thought it would be.
oh, here we go. Is this it? Where she's got notes.
Oh, her notes look like my
National
notes.
Handwriting Day. I love it. And yeah, her notes are all handwritten. Actually, her thesis has her handwritten stuff in it. Where's her thesis? Here we go.
Dude, that's crazy.
Just click this. Are we gonna download? Oh, PDF. There we go. Haha. Eventually, it'll load someday. It's a really long PDF, is what's happening here. It's like 100 and something pages. Wow, this really is taking a long time. Anyway, yeah. So she has a post on her blog about how she takes notes or took notes in grad school, which influenced my note taking philosophy, as it were. There we go. Yeah, at the interface of algebra and statistics. But she's got see these we like can I zoom here? Yeah. Little like things that, she drew by hand. It's so cute. And okay. Yeah, anyway, so lots of just drawings and handwritten notes going on here. And she really tries to make her content really accessible, which I think is the mark of a truly excellent mathematician. The idea that, the better you can explain something, the better you understand it. If you can't understand, I
That
think
is
there's a
true.
quote that's attributed to Richard Feynman, but all kinds of stuff is attributed to Feynman that wasn't really Feynman, but we'll just go with that. That's something like, if you can't explain it, and I think it's where the explain like I'm five thing comes from, that if you can't explain
Okay.
it to a 5-year-old, you don't understand it well enough. Anyway.
I may or may not be writing the tweet to her right now.
Ooh.
And that's why I'm staring off on my second screen. And then I'm going to ask all of you that are currently watching us to retweet it as well. So give me a second. Tweet. That was
Oh
exciting.
God, I would fangirl so hard, it would be embarrassing.
Yeah, I awkwardly have gotten like people on the show by doing this. Some say yes, some say no. Some just ignore my existence, which I'm okay with that too. Yo, what's up? You are on Word Street. Did you? Okay, you're on YouTube. Most of everybody watching is over on Twitch. Did you ever get your Twitch fixed? Up for the challenge is someone I met on an ADHD group, and they said that they were like Twitch deleted their accounts or something. I was like, yeah, what happened?
Interesting. I didn't know
Fully
that was a
locked
thing.
out of Twitch. Fully locked out. That is not cool. Like, anyway.
Okay.
I'm glad we
There must be
streamed
a
to
story
YouTube
there.
too. Well, everyone, please go retweet this tweet. I can't talk. So that way we can get her attention to go be our friend and maybe be on the stream, because that would be really, really cool.
And I would die.
We got to do it for Laura. We'll just keep bugging this person. All right.
Oh, that kind of locked out. Okay. You just can't log in. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot less dramatic than what I was imagining, which was like Twitch had like launched a full scale like barring the doors to you, and I was like, that. Whoa. Ooh,
Yeah.
politics.
Well,
I love politics.
yeah. Well, so he just doesn't have access to them. Like it's a glitch that they can't get him access to his accounts. So the accounts are there.
So you
but
can
he
start
can't
like new
log
ones
in.
or something.
But then he would lose all of his followers.
It's true, but if you can't actually utilize
post.
it, then you're still losing all your followers.
Now we're just going to talk about what you're doing. Like, what are you doing up for the chat? I don't even know if I know your real name. Like, I've talked to you, but I don't know if I know your real name. Anyway, yes.
Yeah.
But
all right. Okay, so it's 34 minutes into the podcast, and we've talked about several things that we weren't going to talk about.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Or maybe just one big thing that we weren't going to talk about, which is cool. We are allowed to brain dump Mondays.
Yes. Yes. Brain dump Mondays.
I actually kind of think that we should maybe just rename.
Yeah. That's what we're going to call it. I like it. Because I feel like it also like it's the Mondays out of Monday, because it's like no pressure. Like, I do feel like I should probably have you be like my teacher though, and like be like, look, I got my Python homework done, especially since we're not really doing it on the stream anymore. But that's okay. I thoroughly enjoy this.
I'm about to be. What I'm about to say is ridiculous.
Oh.
But we could have 2 streams. We could have Brain Dump Mondays and a Learning Python stream.
I'm not mad with it. I'm not mad with it. I'm not mad about it. Because I feel like that's the hard part is I'm like, but I want to talk to you about all these random
Right,
things.
right. It's like catch up time. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
literally sitting here with my coffee and, it's like, yeah, we could
I
do
like
that.
because a lot of the learning part of it is like outside of it. So yes.
Mhm,
Uh so
mhm.
everybody calls him up. I'm cool with that. So up.
Okay, that's cool.
And up says that we should do it. I mean,
All right.
let's talk. Let's talk.
Yep,
Any
yep.
suggestions on days, y'all? I mean, other than Wednesdays, because that is neurodiversity and tech day.
Mhm.
So if anybody else has day
It's gonna
suggestions
have
and
to be
more
Fridays then.
schedule,
That's actually
we could do every
Wednesday
other
and Friday
Friday.
are the only other ones.
We could do
Yeah,
every other
I
Friday.
wonder
I
because we
say that
had started
because
doing it every week because,
yeah,
like, it's hard to remember stuff
yeah, but I
from
have
2 weeks ago.
type script every other Friday. So we
Okay,
could
well,
just
we'll
like
figure it out.
do the opposite. Opposite
Mhm,
Friday. So like every week we're
mhm,
learning going back and forth, which it's crazy,
mhm.
but for me, as long as I associate it with a person or like a day or something, I can go into that mode
Sure.
of learning it. Where is if
Mhm.
because people are like, how are you learning all these languages or frameworks? And I'm like,
Mhm.
they all kind of go together.
Well, and,
I'm learning them in different
when we were
orders.
doing the Python every other week, we were also doing the Brain Dump Mondays at the same time, and so
Yeah.
it was harder to make progress if we're
Hmm.
measuring progress in, like, a linear way,
Yeah.
um, because we were also doing the other stuff, and that so now, if we do it every other Friday, if we start to head off on a tangent, we can just write it down and
For
be like,
Monday.
"We'll talk about this on Monday."
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Let's do
Yes.
that. Cool, cool.
Yay. This is exciting. This is exciting. Okay.
Yes.
Something that we did talk about. So last week, y'all, we didn't stream because it was Tyler's birthday weekend. We went to the zoo where I hobbled around with my very, very swollen ankle. And yeah, I fell. It was pretty funny. Um,
Off a stool, right?
Colorado Spring. Sorry.
Off a stool, you fell, I think?
Yeah.
Something like that? Mhm.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's still it's a I guess a bone bruise, so it's going to take a lot longer for it to heal. Like the bruising itself is gone, but there's still like this giant bump. No, it is not broken. I've had x-rays. It is literally just going to take time to heal. But Colorado Springs Zoo in Colorado is spectacular. We got to feed the giraffes and see lions like right next to each other, like the glass and on the other side of glass. They were just chilling. It was crazy.
Okay, because I was like, "Okay, that sounds really dangerous for the giraffes."
No, two
When you
different.
said they were children, I was like, "Wait, you were feeding the giraffes, and then the giraffes were feeding the lions?"
I mean,
Because
they could.
mhm.
That is like this circle of life,
'Cause
right?
I think that's what would happen. Mhm.
Not
It
with
doesn't sound like the most peaceful way to spend a weekend.
no. But if you want to go see the kind of stuff that I posted about, it's over on my TikTok. It was really cool. Anyway, so the week before that, we were talking about Twitter, and we love Twitter. But Twitter, well, let's not go into too much detail about Twitter because, there's a lot of processing for people, all of that. But there is a social media network that so many people are talking about. I don't even know how to say it. How to Masteron?
Mastodon. You know, well, not I mean, well, prehistoric, sure, the ancestor of the elephant, right? The mastodon, big tusks, and they lived here on this continent. You know, you know, I know you know, and you'll see like a picture and be like, "Oh yeah, of course, a mastodon."
I'm just really excited that that's what it is. But
Yeah, yeah, it's super
uh,
cute, and things ought to be super cute. That's like a sticking point with me, that things ought to be super cute if they possibly can. Hi, Abdullahi. How's it
Yeah,
going?
what up? I should also write down this time code of knowing what time we actually like started talking about this, which was like 40
Mhm,
minutes ish.
mhm.
Um, dudes, dudes. They were around until like pretty recently in history from up over on YouTube. Um,
Yeah, that's why I was stumbling over whether to call them prehistoric because it's so close
okay,
that
let
it's
me
like,
let me
are they strictly speaking prehistoric? And I decided they were because I think we usually refer to things as prehistoric if they are before written history. I think that's how we delineate what's prehistoric and what's not.
uh
And
yeah,
look,
I
look,
think
look at that. Look down there, little to the right.
this
Look at
one.
that.
This is
Yeah.
really
Isn't
cute.
it adorable?
See, I think I always thought they were called mammoths, and that's why I never got really excited about this
Oh,
new,
like
like,
woolly mammoths. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But now that I know it's like, y'all, I love oh, another thing about the zoo. They're put away for the winter. That sounds weird, but they actually have African elephants, where a lot of the zoos in the US only have Asian elephants and they have
Mm.
African ones there. And it's really expensive, but someday I'm going to do the like you get to hang out and feed the elephants there and they have African elephants and then I'll just do like a video with it and show you guys.
Yes. Yeah, our local zoo also has African elephants.
I
Actually, I
don't
don't
even
think they
remember where
even
you
have
live.
Asian elephants. I live in
Where
the
you
Bay
live?
Area, San Francisco Bay Area in California.
Oh, I haven't gone to the zoo
So
there.
I'm
I've been to San Diego, and at least each time that I've been to San Diego, they only had Asian ones.
okay. Yeah, this is the Oakland Zoo.
Oh, gotta go to the Oakland Zoo.
And they, at least this was true like 10 years ago, um, their elephants mostly don't live at the zoo. They have a like giant habitat up in Northern California, and that's where they live most of the time. And then they rotate in a few at a time to come spend a couple months living at the zoo.
I
So most of
wonder
their life
if
is not actually in a
Diego.
zoo.
I wonder if San Diego does the same thing because now that you're saying this, it sounds familiar.
It feels like correct behavior to me. Like I have
Yeah,
very mixed feelings. I mean, mostly not mixed, mostly pretty negative feelings towards zoos. Um, and but that seems like, especially because these are elephants that were rescued. They were not like snatched
yeah,
from their native habitat to come and like be looked at. These are
right.
elephants that were rescued from a circus or whatever. And they get to live much more natural lives most of the time. And they also, even within the zoo, there's like the space where you can look at them and they can leave and go to like the space behind that where there
Yeah.
aren't people staring at them, and they are free to just come and go. I love that. And in October, they eat pumpkins, which is so cute. They just like pick up an entire pumpkin and go like, oh.
Y'all, we're going to the Oakland Zoo in October next year. We're gonna do a Learn with
Right?
Laura Teach Gen Tech meetup at the zoo. It's good. See,
Isn't
this
that
is
just the
why
best?
I I get what you say about like disliking zoos. I think for
Mhm.
myself, it's a lot of like what is it are they doing things to actually help these animals? Where do the animals come from? What do their grounds look like? Their their
Their living
areas?
space. Yeah,
Yeah. So I think a
their
lot of it
environment.
because
Mhm.
I love zoos because it's a very educational space, but I also understand like if they're just doing it to keep animals in captivity, not as a rehabilitation, that
Mhm.
is where I like cross the line. But I absolutely love zoos. Um,
Mhm.
my grandmother called Tyler on his birthday and he was like, "Yeah, we're going to the zoo." And the first thing my grandma says is, he's like, she said she was like, "Did Jenny ever tell you that we used to go to the zoo every time we had to see her when in Phoenix and we rode on the camel?" So my grandmother's 90 now. And she was so excited to tell Tyler that she and I rode on a camel in the Phoenix Zoo when I was like 5.
I just want to
Yeah.
quickly acknowledge Abdullahi asking what we think of Ruby Rails versus Python in 2022 and say that we are super sorry for the false advertising today. We actually decided midstream that this is no longer a Python stream. This is a Brain Dump Mondays stream, and the
Yes.
Python stream is going to be on Fridays because we have too much to say to each other that is not Python at the moment.
Yes.
So just gonna call that out. We're sorry.
And
We're gonna
I
split these up
also, yeah,
in
I also
future.
want to call out your next comment, which is come to Africa in the desert. You'll see animals live without a zoo. And yes, this is on
No.
my to-do list is I I don't know if this is possible, and this is something that I really do need to do research on, and I definitely need to own this. Is I really want to actually work at a elephant rehabilitation, or like actually go be able to spend months there or like take a year off. It's extremely hard work, but not just go and visit as a spectator, but to actually
Mhm,
help save elephants because they've been hunted for so long. And
mhm,
so yes.
mhm.
And you said, I'm gonna probably butcher it. Abdu, you said their name right. How did you say
Oh,
their
I have
name?
no idea. I didn't get confirmation. I said Abdullahi. I
You said it
hope
right.
that
They
that's
said that you said
correct.
it right. They said, "Thanks,
Oh, really?
Laura."
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
they
Good.
love that you said their name. So say it one more time so I can say it.
Yay! Abdullahi.
Abdullahi. Um, yes, Abdullahi, we 100% like want to just say thank you for showing up today and hanging out with us because
Yes.
you were so right. And I keep trying to show Up's comments because nobody else can see them but us. Of there isn't a park in Thailand. That's where a lot of people go. But I really, really want to be able to work with African elephants instead of Asian elephants. I
Mhm.
know that their size is different, their ears are different. I've done research on it before, but this is a story for another time because I will just go on like wanting to go research elephants nonstop. So I'm gonna click share my screen so we can actually look at the y- this thing that people are telling me about.
Mastodon.
Mastodon.
Yep. Oh,
And
thanks for the high five, Ben slash commentator.
yay. So we can create account. Do you want
I'm
to go
a
over
horrible
and would you be
person, and I'm gonna go on a tangent again first because I
okay?
don't want
Cool.
to forget. Or we could write it on your list and then talk
Nah,
about it
okay.
later.
I mean,
Okay.
might as well go. I think tangents are fun. This is where I get my ADHD brain gets to thrive. So
Yeah, yeah,
might
yeah.
as well.
Um, so on the topic of name pronunciation, I got better at pronouncing names from cultures to which I do not belong because of my students when I was a math professor. And I used to have my students, and this got way better when we pivoted to remote, and that will be clear in a second. I had them on the first day, I would link to like a YouTube, like how to pronounce Laura, um, and ask all students, even if they thought that their name was it was obvious how to pronounce their name. Not everyone comes from our culture. either, right? And
Mhm.
we had a lot of international students. And so I said, everybody needs to post a link to how to pronounce their name. And so I could, and then some students, their name, they couldn't find one. And they made me a little recording and I put them in my Anki deck. So I had an
That's
Anki deck for each
cool.
one of my classes that I was teaching, and I had a card for each one of my students that had like what their name it looks like on my roster, because that's how I would see them, and then how to pronounce their name. And you can actually embed YouTube videos and audio files in Anki cards, which is a total superpower. And then like their pronouns and like anything else about them, like, oh, they have a kid named whatever and this is their cat and these are like things that are important to them, this one plays this sport and things like that, so that I could really quickly get to a point where my students felt like I knew them and I cared about them, because I did. I mean, care about them,
Mhm.
and it like really accelerated the relationships
That is really, really
in the
cool.
classes.
I
And had a side benefit of I learned how to pronounce a lot more types of names.
I really like that, and that's maybe we could start seeing if see, Ryan, I like that you posted that. It's something that I do that wouldn't make any sense to me. And this is why I get really
Nope.
nervous of saying people's names. I there this is so important. I think you bring up a really, really great topic of pronouncing people's names, because that is discrimination when you like if somebody's constantly correcting you, that is discrimination against them if you're not doing your best to do so.
Mhm.
I One of my best friends to this day, I still don't pronounce her name right. That is not
Mm.
something I'm proud of. I say this as even when she says it and I try to repeat it, I still can't say it right. I don't know why,
So if
but
you record her and you put it in an Anki card, you can practice it if you want.
that's a good
Just an
idea.
option.
That's a good idea.
I Anki kind of all the things.
We do need to do another one of these someday on
Mhm.
Enki.
Mhm.
That's that's a really good idea because she's cool with it in the fact that like she knows I'm trying, yet at the same time, it's not fair to
And
her
how would you
that
introduce her to somebody?
I say her name as Inas. It's Inas, and a lot of people say it that way. She
Uh-huh.
it's not the way she says it, but the way that she's described it to me before is she's from Libya and then went to
Mhm.
Germany and then went to Canada and then went back to Germany. So the way she pronounces it, um, it can be a bit different than like let's say somebody from Germany specifically or from Canada specifically.
Mhm.
So I think that's a big reason that she's open to it. And now can I give it a shot first because you're
Okay.
really good at it? So
Well,
I kind of want to give her.
okay, sure. I mean, go ahead. I don't know. I haven't actually seen this name itself, but I will infer from other names I have seen that were sort of similar.
I would take a gander at Abdurrahman.
So I would
Abdurrahman.
say Abdirahman, very similar. Abdirahman.
Your sounds like
I
a
would I would assume that it would be a soft A, like ah instead of ah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that the man at the end would be like mun, not man.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yay! I did it.
Um,
I'm like
yay.
having a party for myself over here because I'm a nerd.
Do it. Do it. And that's actually something that great call out because there was someone I used to work with. His name, I'm going to say it wrong, is uh, everybody would say, now, now I'm typing it. I'm putting it in the chat for everybody. It's Naman. Like we would all butcher it. I'm purposely butchering it. So the way that I like taught myself to say it better was Numan is more properly said. And but nobody at the company actually pronounced it right until we started correcting it and saying it so that way. And he worked there for many, many years. So it's just kind of bananas how so many people have to put up with that. And
Right.
it's practice. It is practice. And I like the idea of
Right.
Anki. Anki? Inky? Anki.
I say Anki.
Anki.
I don't know. Actually, haha, I've never actually looked up how to pronounce it.
I get
Oh,
frustrated
bye,
with
Ryan.
it.
Thanks for joining us.
See you next time, Ryan. Thank you. I get frustrated with all of it, but yes. So we've got chapter 1 is good notes. Chapter 2 is name pronunciation.
Okay.
And some elephants in there. We might put the elephants in there at 40 minutes. Oh, there we go. We could do elephants.
Names and elephants.
We got some chapters going, y'all. We are getting the chapters. All right. Do we want to
Mastodon?
see? I waited for you to say it because I am horrible at sounding things out. Like this is just something I always struggled with. So now I'm just like, I hate reading out loud. I hate it with a passion.
Yeah.
But hey, so
it's so cute.
it's is it Mastodon?
Sure.
How did you say it?
Mastodon.
Mastodon? Mastodon. Okay. All right. Do you want to explain to us what this is?
Sure. Okay.
As I happy
So
scroll.
I think it makes the most sense to explain it as we do it.
All right, then let me.
Because otherwise it's all just like a bunch of terms flying. And I think that makes it sort of overwhelming. Okay.
All right.
So the first thing that is different about Mastodon from, say, Twitter. Oh, you know who has a really great explanation about how to think of Mastodon is oh, just a second. I'm gonna have to find her. Okay, well, so while I'm looking for this, you can search for a server by just a second. I lost your tab. Okay, so all right, so you've already got language English, all regions. Okay, and so you can just choose. It sort of doesn't matter which server you choose. It totally doesn't matter in the sense that you just choose one and then you can choose a different one later and everything will be fine. So let's go with that. It totally doesn't matter. So let's just go through and see what there is. Oh, well, while you're scrolling through and seeing what there is, I will look for that super awesome explanation. And the problem is that I can't remember her name. So how am I going to find her? Oh, I think I've retweeted. Well, boosted. Discord. It's funny. My company used to have our work comms on Discord, and so like the Discord sound makes me go, "Oh, somebody needs something."
Yes, and I still haven't like gone in and muted it. Like I said that that I would go do this soon. But Okay, I'm gonna find just a random one I can join that I don't have to apply for.
I'm going to
Cool.
drop a link to this this person's profile on Mastodon with a super fabulous thingy. Oh, search. Have you already chosen a server?
No.
I think IndieWeb is full. So you can search, I think if you scroll up, on the other tab, on the
Yeah.
servers tab, I think if you scroll up, you can search more up, like
Yeah, I'm just
all
making
the
sure it cleared out of
ways.
everything.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, nope. Eek.
Well, do you know what topic
There should
they're?
be a search bar. I'm not, I don't think so. These servers are like specially picked ones. Okay, try just going to the web address fosstodon.org, and then that's FOSS as in FOSS, free open source software, TO Don.org. There we go.
It's currently
And
down.
oh, okay. Yeah, they were up yesterday. Okay, so this is everything in the Fediverse, which is Fedi's Federation, and that's not super important at the moment. At the moment, all we need to know is about Mastodon. Everything is run by volunteers. It's not owned by, some billionaire or whatever. And they've experienced massive influx from people fleeing Twitter. And so people have been putting in so much work upgrading their servers to deal with more people and like making sure that things are staying safe for everyone, because that's a really important ethos on
Right.
Mastodon, is that everybody needs to stay safe.
Mm-hmm.
um, and so on. So there are a lot of servers that are like they are just saying, okay, we're done for the moment. We need to fix some stuff. Okay, so not this server. I guess at any other server, just pick one. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was just gonna pick a random one that can I know into legal structure? No. Instant. Okay. We're going back over here.
Oh,
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 I think
wait.
I have. Oh, yes.
Look at that bottom left one. Question others to teach ourselves a STEM-oriented server. Boy, does
Shh,
that sound like the place for you.
I dig it.
Yeah, at the
I'm
very
gonna do all
least,
this
it's a great
offline
place
really
to
quick.
start. Okay.
I have to remember all my stuff. So hold on, just a sec. And I agree. And I am human. Oh, I have to click images that contain a cacti. So in the sand, cactus in the sand. That is very specific
Mm-hmm.
for. Okay, I got all my cacti in the sand. All right, and we go to Gmail because I have way too many tabs open. Bet that's how everybody lives. And verify.
I think ARC is going to have to be in like the next Brain Dump Monday. But speaking of everybody lives in a million tabs, that's not really what happens in ARC.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Preview of Brain Dump Mondays to come. All right.
All right. So, sure, we'll allow notifications. Why not? Welcome to the Fediverse. Fediverse. In a few moments, you'll be able to broadcast messages and talk to your friends across a wide variety of servers. But this server quota.org, Qo20, Wow. .org is special. It hosts your profile, so remember its name. Got it. Home. Posts from people you follow will appear in your home feed. You can follow anyone on any server. Local public posts from people on the same server as you will appear in the local timeline. Federated public posts from other servers of the Fediverse will appear in the federated timeline. I do love their graphics. It is really fun.
Right?
And then reply, you can reply to others and your own toots, which will chain them together in a conversation. Boost, you can share
So
others.
toots are like tweets, right? That's like a post on
Oh,
Mastodon is a toot because of the
yeah.
trunk, like dude,
I like that. So we
right?
can boost them and you can favorite them. All right. Oh, wow.
So boosting is like retweeting.
Okay.
However, there is no quote tweet. And
Aw.
that is a very purposeful design choice, because it prevents pylons. So it's a safety thing.
What do you mean
So
by
you can
pylons?
like so that's what happens on Twitter. So say you post something that says Elon Musk is a fuckhead because he is.
Okay.
And then some Elon Musk fan is searching Twitter for anybody who says anything negative about Elon Musk, and then finds your post, your tweet, and then they quote tweet it saying, everybody go tell Jen that she's a horrible person because she thinks that Elon Musk is a fuckhead. And then all those people show up
Um,
and they pile on.
got it. Got it.
That's what
I've
it
been
is.
experienced that, which I feel fortunate for, so that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Uh,
I am too tiny and boring on Twitter. And
I
also, I'm a white woman, so people are a lot less likely to pile on me, right? We'll just own that.
I just went to like being a 13-year-old kid, so I'm just gonna keep moving on and
Okay.
say, so what do I do here?
Okay. Okay. So everything is your home timeline is empty because you haven't followed anybody. So I am going to paste my Mastodon so I can be your very first friend on
Yay.
Mastodon.
Yay.
Where are we? Here we go. Oops. Okay. So if you copy and paste this, including the first at,
And search.
mm-hmm,
So it's kind of like Discord with that.
mm-hmm, there you go.
Oh.
There's me. And you
Uh,
click the like person plus. So you have now added me.
now, is it something?
Good.
Uh, can I? Is it like Twitter where you can just like follow anybody, or is it where you have
Yes.
to?
I'm really surprised to see that cancel follow request button because I do not have, so you can make it there, like in preferences, you can change it so that people have to request to follow you. Oh, okay, it's disappeared. So I think that what it was doing was it was processing your follow request, but I don't actually have that like wall turned on. Like there's no gate to follow me. So it just finished and now it's all good. Here we go.
Interesting. So that
Uh,
wasn't
mhm.
the hardest thing to do to set up. Where are people not liking this? I mean, it's not as
So
pretty. I'll give
the
it that.
the
But
having to choose, oh, well, you know what though? That depends on which server you're on. So when I said like it doesn't super matter, but then it really doesn't matter because you can switch, the way that the UI looks depends on choices made by the admin of your server. So the first server
Oh.
that I joined, I didn't really like the way that it looked, and it didn't have that nav bar on the right side, and I
Oh.
liked it. So my server is purple and stuff. It otherwise is identical, but it's purple instead of white. But it's also closed at the moment. So yeah, that's a thing.
Interesting.
Um,
Interesting.
but yeah, so then the way that you find people on Mastodon is by searching for hashtags. So unlike Twitter, you can follow hashtags on Mastodon.
Kind of like
Um,
all the y'all. I'm just setting this up while we're here because we're here. And then my avatar. I don't even know if I have a photo of me in here. I used to. They're gonna be somewhere. Cool. That's my D&D character. In case anybody wanted to know.
you can be a hippo on Mastodon. It looks like a
I
hippo, right?
can.
Is it a hippo?
The only reason I did it is oh, this is me trying to like figure out what photos. We'll do that one. That one looks nice.
I would recommend for the moment, for like the next few weeks at least, to use the same photo as you have currently on Twitter
They're
so
basically
that
the
people
same.
will recognize you.
That's a good point. And for anybody watching, that's a good branding point in general. That is the same photo. Like having the same photo everywhere does make it a lot easier for people to make sure that know that you're you across platforms.
Mhm.
And I am going to my Twitter profile really quick to go copy and paste it for my bio.
Mhm.
That was super exciting. It may not look great, but hey, it's there.
You might want to change the at shit to talk about because that's a Twitter at, and so it won't go anywhere.
Maybe I need to do it for here. Host of. That's a good call out though.
You could probably just hyperlink that link to your podcast.
I probably will, but we'll do it later.
Mhm.
This works.
Mhm.
List the account directory. Recommended.
Sure.
Profile metadata.
Mhm.
Like,
So you can put in your website and
oh,
your
okay.
polywork. I have my polywork. What else do I have? My Twitch. GitHub. I think I have GitHub.
I like that. I'm just like, there. I'll
Mhm.
just put all those in there. So give me a moment, please.
Mhm. So the way that that verification thing on the right works is you have to be able to edit the HTML of something in order to do this verification. And so for me, the only one that I could edit the HTML for was my personal website, but you don't have to do the verification thing right away.
Oh, okay.
You can
Interesting.
later.
Okay.
Um,
I just realized
and
that
so
I
that's how verification works on Mastodon. Nobody can verify you except you.
nice. All right. Oh, guess what? I'm gonna be emceeing next week
Ooh,
for
on.
the let me copy and paste that one really quick. For Next Nation is the conference, and I'm either emceeing both days or just the second day. I'm not sure which
Ooh,
yet, but it's free. So y'all should go and come hang out with
nice.
me. It would be fun.
Cool, cool.
And we are almost done. All right. Save changes.
And we have to continually remind ourselves that what doesn't it like?
Oh, must be less than
Your header
2.
file was too big, or your avatar or something. Both of them.
Both of them or just the second one?
Looks like it's both.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know. At least the header one has a broken image icon. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Please stand by while I work on doing this, but please continue.
We have to continuously remind ourselves that these servers are under unprecedented pressure, and maintained by humans who don't get paid to maintain them. And so sometimes stuff is really slow. It's getting better. And the way to help that is to donate, because servers cost money. So, yeah, sometimes stuff's slow.
That is a good reminder.
And
That is definitely a good reminder for us.
We need to grant grace to these
And
humans
not
who
just get
are
mad at
putting
it.
in all this effort to make this thing for us.
I'm making my photo smaller.
Mhm.
Please stand by. Whee! Snagit! Yay. Snagit is an amazing app if anybody wants to know.
Cool.
It is an app I use all the time. Where's my desktop? There it is. Oh, you're still 2.7. Oh my God. Okay. File, edit, export. In case anybody wanted to know, this is the really exciting part of it all.
You know what you could do that might be a shortcut is if you go to your own Twitter profile and then just right click on your avatar on Twitter and save that and use that, I'll bet it's already small.
Sweet.
And so here's a really good question. I don't know if I can like elevate that. Can I? Oh, I can. Who are the admins of the Mastodon servers? Are they private citizens or companies? They are private citizens. So, and they own their server. And so what they say goes. And so different servers have different rules. Like some servers will have rules about you can't talk about Nazis on here, for instance, and other servers may not. However, as a group, the Mastodon part of, at least the Mastodon part of the Fediverse, did actually get together a few years ago, as I understand it, when some alt-right types tried to come in and like make servers, and they were all just like, no, this is a Nazi-free zone. In fact, goodbye. Are servers connected, or is every server a closed community? Okay, and so this is where that that middle tab, Dr. Casey Feisler one is handy.
Repost in here.
If you scroll down, she may have it. Oh, she doesn't have it pinned. Darn. Okay, but she
Is it a
wrote like
tweet or a video? Oh,
It's try that, the Thread Reader app link. So this is a really great, not super short explainer, but the TLDR is, imagine, so like if you go to school, you can be, say you're a freshman in you're a year 9 or whatever student, and then you can join clubs And those clubs can have students from other years. Like you might have year 10, year 11, year 12 students all in the same club together. You do have to be a student at that school in order to be part of any of these clubs. So you, and the sort of analogy, the Mastodon part of the analogy is like you have to have an account on a Mastodon server in order to connect with people on other servers, but you can connect with people on other servers. You are not restricted just to the server to which you joined. Just as if you are a year 9 student, you are not allowed, it's not the case that you are only allowed to be friends with other year 9 students.
I think that makes sense. Discord really helped me understand. I think that's why it makes a bit more sense to me, is because in Discord, you have to join a specific server to be a part of that like group, but you can still DM people if you know their full server username and server.
Yes.
So but okay.
To my mind, it is completely the inverse of Discord, because like when I go into Discord, in order to see updates, I have to look in each server one at a time. I'm only ever looking at one server. I'm not looking at like, here's everything from all of the 27 Discord servers that I belong to.
Mhm.
That's Mastodon.
Oh, yeah. I agree. I think I just don't look at each server like ever. I just do my DMs to people because I'm like, oh, I know where to find you now. Um, is it like IRC? What's IRC?
It was is a chat, like internet chat thing.
Oh,
Internet relay chat, it might be. I'm sure that this IR is internet relay, and I'm not actually sure about the C, but I want it to be chat.
let's. Well, you explain. I will Google.
Oh yeah. So Mastodon is federated. That's why it's called the Fediverse, in fact, because it is federated. Exactly. Pseudo. So internet relay chat. I got it right. Hooray. Yeah. So it is kind of like that in the like federation sense. Yeah.
Huh. Huh. All
Mhm.
the learning.
Yep. Did you have ICQ 1,000 years ago? Okay.
What's
Oh, look, there
ICQ?
it is. ICQ, the little it's there actually. It's the one with the little
Oh.
green, yeah. You still remember your number, Pseudo? Oh, that's cool. I don't know mine ICQ number.
I don't think I ever really. I think a lot of it is also. Uh, okay, let me think. What would a because this would not be like AOL chat. This is more
No,
primitive.
AOL chat, AOL Instant Messenger would be like Twitter because you had to have a like an AOL account. Like you had to be in the AOL world.
Okay.
And you could not talk to people who weren't in AOL world. Just like on
Where
Twitter, you can only talk to people on Twitter.
IRC you can talk to anybody even if they don't have IRC?
Well, it's because IRC, like ICQ is a client that I think it was an IRC client. But anyway, it's like it's if you think about like email, like if you have Gmail, you can email somebody who has Outlook
Yeah.
and they can email you.
Uh-huh.
It's not the case that you can only email people who have Gmail.
Okay.
Whereas with AOL Instant Messenger, you could only talk to people who were on AOL Instant Messenger.
So would these be like no, because chat rooms you would still have to have like a name or account with that chat room to use it.
Mhm.
ICQ changed the content ownership policy at some point where everything you wrote on the platform would belong to the platform. That's when a lot of people quit. That totally makes sense. I think I'm a little
Mhm.
lost because I was more in chat rooms in AOL than this. I didn't even know this was really
Mhm.
a thing.
Sure. So you can just think about it as like email. In order to email, you have to have an email client. Like you have to be registered on somebody's email server,
Mhm,
right? But you can email people whose email accounts are registered on other servers.
mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
what Mastodon is like. You have to be registered on somebody's Mastodon server, but you can still talk to people who are on other Mastodon servers. Like me, you and I are not on the same Mastodon server and we connected.
And then oh, that's where. Okay. I was going in look, I have it. Yay. I just posted mine in here too. And then I will post Laura's in here so y'all can go Mastodon it up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just pasted it back to you. That doesn't really help. Wrong. You know, there we go. I would say that I've gotten a lot of knowledge drops today. And this is why I absolutely love that we have our Mondays now because
Mm-hmm.
even though it's very, very random, I always learn so much.
Yep. Yep. So, couple more points.
Okay.
So just like if you're going to email somebody, you have to put like their username at their email client,
Right.
right? Like I'm, me at Gmail or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't just say like I'm going to email Laura Langdon because
Right.
it'll be like cute. Same thing. If you are looking for somebody who's on your server, you can find them with just their username. But you
Okay.
can't find someone on another server with just their handle. It has to be the whole like that thing at
Hmm. Hmm.
server's name. That's one thing that people trip over.
I think that's why I still relate it back to Discord because you can't just find someone with their name. You have to friend them. You have to
Sure.
have their server number too. And
Okay.
that's why I think I keep associating the two is just that one
Sure.
aspect
Yeah,
of
whatever works. Yeah. Everyone has different mental models of stuff.
that is
So
true.
that's one thing that people find confusing because like on Twitter, there is only one server from that perspective. So you can find somebody
Yeah.
because you're only looking on Twitter and nobody can have the same username on Twitter as somebody else. But just as there could be someone who has like Laura Langdon at, yahoo.com, and that
Hmm.
isn't me. Actually, that was me a million years ago. But anyway, um, that's the same idea. You can have somebody else, like the same username as somebody else on a different Mastodon server.
And that
So
makes
that's why
sense.
you have to include the server name.
And Hi Vive and Sudo asked, what happens when my original server goes offline? Can they still log into Mas- Mastodon?
Mastodon.
Mastodon. Mastodon.
I don't actually know, but there are all kinds of fabulous Mastodon explainers out there. Actually, if you go to fedi.tips, fedi.tips, um, that website is full of answers to all of these questions. Fedi being short for Fediverse because of federation.
Dope.
Okay, so
And
that's one thing that people trip up on.
okay, what
Another
else?
thing that people trip up on is Mastodon. If you search for a word on Mastodon, it does not search text. So it's not going to be searching. Like if you search for Python or whatever, it's not going to find everybody who has written a post containing the word Python. However, you can search for hashtags. And so people use a lot of hashtags in their posts on Mastodon if they want people to be able to find them. And if you don't want people to be able to find them, you just don't put in hashtags, and then people can't find them. So it'll only be visible to like the audience that you select.
Sweet. That one, I feel like that's kind of how I write my tweets, because I'm like,
Sure.
I don't go search for, but then I realized like Squarespace, I didn't tag them in something. I just used the term Squarespace, and they actually replied to my tweet, even though I didn't tag them or hashtag them. But
Because
that's
they were
normally what I,
looking for the word Squarespace.
yeah. So, okay, cool. I'm pretty excited about this because
So you
apparently
can
in my
search for
mind,
hashtags, which means it actually has to have the hash, right? The like # hashtag symbol.
yes.
That's another thing that people trip over. The third thing that people really have trouble with is signing up on mobile.
Ooh, okay.
Because when you download a mobile client, and there are different ones, there are several different ones for iOS, and I think Tusky is the one that's the one I see that recommended the most often for Android. Capital Tusky. What was I going to say? Oh, a lot of them say like it looks like you have to rejoin. It'll say like join a server, and you're like, but I already joined a server. Why are you asking me to do this again? You just search for the server name that you're already on. And so in your case, that's what QOTO
Yeah.
something?
.org.
.org. Okay. And so you would search for that, and it'll start like sometimes it'll start. My husband ran into this yesterday. He's on Fostodon.org, and he started typing Fostodon. It started off like auto populating the search results, and then they all just disappeared. And he was like, "Oh, okay, so I guess it's not here." But if you actually just press enter and like do the search, then it found it.
Got it.
So you do have to actually search for the server that you just joined, and then you can log in and everything's like normal. But those are like the three, I think, things that people find the most confusing.
That is good to know. And I wrote these down, so I'll include them in the YouTube description. And y'all, we put in a hashtag Teach Gen Tech, so you guys can search it later.
Yay!
And I'm also kind of rushing y'all because I really have to pee. TMI for everybody, but I'm like, I drink a lot of water, so I'm like, let's go. We are also at our time, which is pretty exciting because that works out. And yes, as y'all heard, we are just going to do, as Homie put, Manic Monday or Brain Dump Monday, or this is just like a chill, get the week started with us. And every other Friday, we will be doing Learning with Laura, specifically Python. And not spam.
Is that starting this week or next week?
Next week.
Okay.
This week is TypeScript with Josh. And you know what will be really cool is I feel like Laura's going to do this someday. Just Laura, you will. Josh has a TypeScript book. So
we're already Python books.
I don't know. You're going to write something that I'm going to be like, let's learn about it.
Yeah, I have to write a book because it's like a rule in my family, but I'm not sure what it's going to be yet.
That's okay. I have a feeling it's going to be something about math.
It could be.
It could be a math student, a math professor, a mathematician. That could just be the character. Or it could actually
like
be
a novel.
about
Oh, no, I don't think I'm writing any fiction.
It could be an autobiography. You're a mathematician. You math better than I do, so I'm going to go.
Practicing mathematician. But
I like Sudo's idea.
Oh.
Teaching tech.
Yeah.
Yes, because Learning with Laura has truly helped me with learning techniques. This is stuff that I never learned growing up. So,
Mhm. Oh, I
and
mean,
I don't think,
same. It's all stuff I learned as an adult too.
yes. And thank you. Thank you
Mhm.
for sharing the wealth.
Mhm.
So, y'all,
Mhm.
until next Monday with Laura. And this week, I don't have as many guests this week. Who do I have on the show? We had a couple cancellations, which is cool because that is the cool thing about streaming is, oh, the next guest is going to be on Friday, which is with Josh on TypeScript. But I will be streaming tomorrow and Thursday about a couple projects I'm working on. So
Yay!
I will be here. But
Y'all are
thank you,
too
everyone.
kind. Thank you.
I gotta go find somebody to raid to and then kill the stream. I always forget about that. I'm like, raiding to people is just you find cool people.
Mhm.
Uh,
Oh, while you're looking, I'll say one other thing.
do it.
There is etiquette on Mastodon, which you can also find on the fedi.tips site. There are like ways that it's nice to behave on Mastodon. Yeah.
It's different than, I don't know, just being a nice human.
There are some fairly specific things like alt text, for instance. Mastodon had alt text for images like years ago, whereas Twitter only got it like sometime in the last maybe 18 months.
Uh,
There's a very strong alt text culture.
cool.
And you
I like
don't
that.
just write like, oh, this is a picture of, like you're maybe writing a paragraph. You're not just writing like a few words about what is in the picture. You're really
I feel like I'll get
describing the
better.
picture.
Yay.
Yes. Yes. And also content warnings are a big thing. And they actually, if you use content warnings, that's actually like a feature, not just like you type CW and then, whatever. It's like a button on a post,
That's cool.
and it will actually like it's not visible unless you click it. Like you opt in to see
Okay.
what's behind the content warning. And there are content warnings for things that you might not expect, like politics. It is not polite on Mastodon to talk about politics without putting it behind a content warning, which I would never have intuited.
That's pretty
I needed to
cool.
be told. I mean, I read it, nobody yelled at me, but yeah. And
Okay.
people are nice on Mastodon. Like
I like
the
it.
default is that people will be kind to each other and not like snarky or mean or whatever. It has a 100% different feel from Twitter. I was super sad about Twitter. And now I'm like, it was a good time. And this is kind of a better one.
I dig it. And on that note, I'm going to click the raid now. So
Mhm.
y'all are getting raided. But we have the content, it will be on YouTube. And on that note, I'm ending our stream. So thank you, Laura.
Mhm. Thanks, Jen. Thanks, everybody.